Good morning and welcome to the CLIN1 Client Web Portal demonstration. The CLIN1 Web Portal is a secure and easy way for the laboratory client to self-manage many of their laboratory needs. Let's go ahead and start with logging in. The laboratory will provide the client user with the link to the portal, a unique facility ID, and a unique user ID with temporary password. I'm going to go ahead and log in. After logging in, you will land on the home screen where you will see your facility portal dashboard. What you see on the dashboard here is a quick overview of the number of samples received, as you can see here on the right, the number of samples logged by your facility or for your facility, any samples that have a test not performed or rejected sample added to the sample ID, any unviewed completed reports, and any critical values noted. This information can be updated based on a date range that you provide. You simply select the calendar option, choose your date range, and refresh. And the information listed will refresh along with you. I would like to also point out on the lower left-hand side of the screen here, the user manual option. This option will provide you with a CLIN1 web portal user manual in PDF format. Across the top of your screen, you will see many menu items. Let's go ahead and start with the Patient's Requisitions menu dropdown. Patient's Requisition menu dropdown allows you to select the patient requisition option, a draw list for remote collection sites, a sample manifest for samples collected on site, and batch order upload. Let's start with your patient requisitions. The screen we're looking at right now is a screen that allows us to search for facilities by either ID or name if your user ID allows you that privilege of having access to multiple facilities. The bottom portion of the screen allows you to search for existing patients. You can search for existing patients based on a last name, a first name, a date of birth, a medical record number or cross-reference number, or the internal patient ID. You may also search for existing and or create new patient demographics by scanning the back of your patient's driver's license into the DL scan field. I'm going to go ahead and search by last name and select Retrieve. I have the option of being able to see any patients within my facility that match on this particular last name. I can then look at the first name for a full match, the date of birth, the sex, a specific physician in my facility, phone number, internal patient ID, and or facility ID. If I do not locate any of the patients that match the one I am looking for, I can now create a new patient by selecting the New Patient button. The New Patient button opens my patient demographics screen in an editable mode. It allows me to enter my own internal medical record number for my facility and or other cross-reference information as needed. As you can see, some of the fields will highlight as a required field. Last name and first name are required fields. A middle initial or name is not required, but either is available for you. Date of birth may be entered. As you can see, if you look to the left of the field, it indicates exactly how it should be entered. I may tab to the next field. For gender options, I have a drop down here. I may enter the patient's address. I'm going to enter the patient's phone number. I don't enter spaces in this field as indicated to the left of the field. No spaces, no dashes, no dots. My email is entered then. Let's scroll down a little further. Medication list is available here. I can enter comments. My facility and my primary physician associated with that facility auto-populate. If I have multiple physicians within the facility, I have the ability to select the drop-down and choose a different physician for this particular patient as needed. I have the ability to select a financial class if necessary. Internally, the laboratory has the ability to assign you study numbers, protocol numbers, sponsor information, reminders, and notification method if in fact your particular facility is using a patient notification option. And this is based on the laboratory using a patient portal option of either email, text, both, or not applicable. Once you've entered all the information for your particular patient, you select the Update tab. One of the nice features on this particular screen is that it indicates whether or not you have already entered patient insurance information. As you can see at the top of the screen, it's highlighted that we have no insurance records defined currently. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the screen here. This tells me I have failed to enter something that is required by my laboratory. So I'm going to select a particular piece of information for financial class and update once again. At the bottom of the screen, you can see that I now have several tabs available to me. Editing this patient demographic information, I can enter standing orders, I can enter a new sample, I can add pertinent medications for the patient, I can enter insurance information, and I can upload documents such as insurance cards or patient ID or written requisitions from the physician. For this particular moment, I'm going to go ahead and select the insurance tab, and each laboratory has a standing list of insurance options that would be available to you in the system. Many laboratories also have what they call an other option that allows you to select and manually enter insurance information if the carrier is not listed. I'm going to go ahead and select a specific one. And as you can see, the information auto-populates for the patient, the date it's being entered. The insurance type is auto-populated from here on the right-hand side as assigned to that particular carrier. If it's primary, it auto-populates to primary. I can select secondary, tertiary, other, or make it inactive as needed. The carrier ID auto-populates. I can enter the subscriber relationship here. I can enter the subscriber ID, assignment of benefits, and if I have plan effective date, if that is something that my laboratory requires that is entered, I can enter that information for effective date, expiration date, policy numbers, group IDs, plan IDs. The carrier information that is in the system already will auto-populate. The subscriber's information auto-populates. Once you've completed all the entries, you select Update, and it is now added as an option for this particular patient. Select the Return to Patient, and now you can see that it is updated to let you know that insurance records do indeed exist. For adding a new sample, you'll select the new sample option, and this will open up to a sample details screen. Across the top of the screen, highlighted in yellow, are very basic, simple instructions. Edit sample details. This is your sample details. If you select the edit option, it will open up into an editable field, allowing you to update certain items. The log date and time is static along with the user. That is right now and the person that is logged in. You may update the collect date. You may update the collect time, the collector. You may update the physician at this time if necessary. Diagnosis codes can be entered manually or selected from a common pick list, or selecting from all diagnoses allows you to enter specific details to locate a particular diagnosis code that you may be looking for. You may enter comments. We have fasting or non-fasting options. Any cross-reference information. The source can be updated at this point if necessary. Sample types, body sites, all of these things can be updated if they apply. And move to the next option, which is selecting a diagnosis code. I'm going to go ahead and select a diagnosis code here. And as you can see, that is automatically populated to my sample details. Now it tells me that I'm going to select my profile. I have the option of being able to see predetermined quick pick options that my laboratory has set up for me to choose from, or I have the ability to pick from the full test menu of the laboratory by selecting the Pick from Full Profile procedure list. I'm going to select a single sample profile, and it is populated to my requested profiles and panels. I can select multiple panels and profiles. The particular test bundle that I just selected is a bundle of multiple panels. Those panels will explode to be visible to you under the profile panel requested field. Once I have completed this information, I can print a requisition for the patient or the laboratory if needed. I can check ICD-10 code for ABN necessity. I can select generate labels and generate a label if I am in fact going to draw the samples. I can generate an ABN as needed, or I can complete this sample request by simply selecting Save Exit. Once I've done that, the accession request automatically goes to the laboratory at that time. Let's go ahead and go back to our home screen. From our home screen, I can see that I have added another sample. If I go to Patient Reports, I can select the All Samples list. And if I select from today's date and click Retrieve, I can see that these are the 2 samples that have been added to this facility for this date range. As you can see, the sample that I just added for Brandy Demo is here, and it tells me the collect date. If I scroll to the right, I can see that it does not give me this SID PDF. This indicates to me that the sample is not complete and there is no report for it. I'm going to scroll back across the top, and I'm going to go back to Patient Reports. I also have the ability to look at completed reports that I have not yet seen by selecting Unviewed Reports. To retrieve unviewed reports that are available for me to look at and upload or print, and select Retrieve, and any available unviewed reports for my facility will now be visible here, and I simply have to select the report in order to see and upload or print this report. Let's arrow back. Another option from my patient reports list is completed reports. These may be reports that I have already viewed, but I need to go back and locate one quickly. I can again choose a date range and select Retrieve, and all of my completed reports will be visible here. I can search for a specific patient by last name, click on my search filter, and narrow down my options to be able to select the one I am looking for. Okay, so under other reports, we have a sample summary list, which is very similar to what you saw under the patient samples list. This is a list of all samples for the date range given. Under other reports, I have many different summaries and reports. A few of the ones that are very important to you would be rejected samples. This would be a list of any samples that have been rejected from the laboratory, allowing you to know who the patient was, when it was collected, why it was rejected. Critical results is also another very good report to allow you to see information on any patients quickly that had critical results. One other report here that is very helpful in many instances is what we call the sample results summary. This is a summary of all the patients for the given date range and the given facility, allowing you to see completed final results only for all samples during that given date range. It will list the patient last name, first name, middle initial, date of birth, physician, the test and profile, and your result and flag remark along with that. This list will show you when it was collected, received, and analyzed. And if I scroll down, you'll be able to see, again, all patients' results for a given time frame. These reports are exportable. Let's move on to forms. Forms is a way for your laboratory to allow you extra pieces of information or printables. There could be add-on forms, ABN forms, HIPAA release forms, other requisitioning forms, supply forms, and the user manual would be located here as well. Under supplies, if your laboratory supplies you with different items for you to collect samples to send to them, you would be able to order those directly to them if this is set up in that manner for you. Configuration is for your administrative level only. Your help option here allows you to look at how to get started. It also gives you some FAQs or quick tips. Selecting one will give you that quick tip step by step. You may change your temporary password from here by entering the temporary and then selecting a new one. Your log out is where you should log out from the session each time you are completed with what you are doing. The remote location is a specific setup for remote location collection sites for the laboratory. I appreciate your time today. Please let us know if there are any other options or pieces of information that you need from us. Thank you.